Oh boy. It's past midnight already. I just got home from my Saturday ConnectiCon trip, and my only day this year because I can't afford a hotel to stay there for the whole weekend, and I've just got other things I need to do. So it's only a single day, and I chose Saturday. And thinking about the panels and stuff, I wish I chose Friday, but it was already too late by the time I was like, oh fuck, I read the goddamn panel list wrong. All that good shit was on Friday. All the good panels that were really interesting to me was on Friday, and I fucked up. So I'm not going to live that down, but whatever. I went on the Saturday, and I just have a lot of things to say. I can't guarantee if they're going to be good, but it's definitely something, and I want to get it, like, fresh out of my mind since I just came home, instead of recording this type of thing literally days or even maybe a week later, where I'm just going to forget everything. And I just know for a fact I'm going to forget shit regardless. I'm already forgetting shit right now because I'm really tired, but I'm going to try my best. And don't be surprised if this entire recap vlog thing is longer than the footage I took, because I didn't take a lot of footage this year. Because, again, a single day handed me so much, and there's also a little more restrictions I'll get to, at least to the stuff I was focused on. But, good thing is registration was relatively easy since I was early. I got my badge pretty quickly, which is nice. And probably the greatest thing, like, the first thing I run into right by the steps is another Joel and an Ellie from The Last of Us, because I went as Joel. This is the shirt I'm wearing. I'm not having all the stuff on. I'm tired, but I went as him because it was easier than Barry and, less, intensive. Since I'm not staying at a hotel, I can't just, change out and shit. But that was great. The Joel in particular actually complimented my shirt choice because it was apparently spot on, which I guess is kind of right. It is missing an extra pocket though, but whatever. I do want to give a shout outs to both that Joel and Ellie cosplayer, because they were great people. Like, we just talked for quite a bit. Didn't hang out. We went our separate ways for the rest of the con, but we ran into each other occasionally. I just want to give shout outs to them. I think the Joel, his name was Josh, so shout outs to Josh, and whoever the Ellie was with you. She never gave me the name, but if for some reason you two ever come across this video somehow, I just want to say thanks. It was great. In fact, speaking about Last of Us cosplayers, there was a lot more than last year. Last year I saw one Ellie and another Ellie and a Joel. That's 3. This year I saw, including myself, there was 3 Ellies and 3 Joels, all separate, and all that stuff, which is great. And with the first Joel cosplayer, again, I think his name is Josh. His friend had this clicker mask, and it looked really cool. And actually, he actually let me shiv him, just for a photo's sake. That was great. That was a fun start. Then it got really boring because I came early. Nothing was here. It was practically empty. It was really surprising. And also, I'm gonna be taking a couple of drinks. I mean, I didn't really eat all day. No, Zero, it's not another Menu Madness. Don't even think about it. Anyways, there was no one because by that time I was there, just assumed a bunch of the other people from Friday were, just still in their hotels, probably tired and stuff from Friday, I'm assuming. So there was really nothing to do. Dealer's room wasn't open, and the only thing really available was the arcade area, which, instead of putting in that big room with the gaming, console stuff, previous years, The one escalator that goes, like, up before hitting the top floor, it's like the mid-platform. Bunch of arcade machines, mostly Konami based. There was like Taiko Drum Master, which I think is Namco, so it's not just Konami. They had DDR. They had this game I've never seen before. I didn't get to play it. You'll see it in the footage. I can't recall the name off the top of my head, but they had a bunch of machines. I played that touchpad music game, which was at Palladium, but because of the card we had, we couldn't use it because restrictions and shit. I did get to play it. It's fun, I guess. I just didn't really get hooked on it. I had other things to do. Still had fun with Taiko Drum Master. I just love playing that. I just feel it's just a lot of fun. But I still find it bizarre that one area literally was just the arcade machines. And I'll get back to the gaming in a sec because, oh my lord, oh Jesus. But after that, I decided to check out the panel known as Hyrule Historia. It was basically a fan panel about, like, you know, opinions and stuff about Zelda Timeline, blah blah blah, Zelda-related stuff. I mean, I like Zelda, so I went. I didn't stay for the whole thing, but I stayed for, I think, maybe half of it. Which was mostly regarding timeline stuff. It was pretty interesting. But again, I didn't stay for the whole thing. I got a little bit of footage. There was one clip I took that I fucked up so bad that I'm gonna cut it. You're not gonna see it. I'll just say spaghetti and leave it at that. But it wasn't that bad. But again, in terms of just recording, I did a sloppy job because I was zoomed in. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna upload that. That one clip of the Zelda thing. I mean, I still got a little bit of Zelda, but it was an alright panel. I just need something to do to pass the time. After that, there was literally nothing. I was just meandering around, getting a couple of photos. There was a lot of pretty good cosplayers this year, actually. Even though Rise Son of Rome is really terrible, there was this Roman gladiator, and it looked so good. It was really cool seeing that. And I actually got a couple of photos of a few cosplayers that stood out. You'll see those photos. I just want you to guess what my favorite one is, and it has nothing to do with The Last of Us or, you know, anime. But it was probably my favorite one to take. So I really just ended up playing arcades until 11 o'clock, which was when the dealer's room opened. And before I checked out the dealer's room, I just wanted to look around. Like, the entire area was open. But actually, before I did that, the other side area was open for, like, tabletop stuff. Like, there was an entire section, like, with, like, drapes and stuff, all for, like, role-playing stuff. And I don't mean the dirty kind, you know, just simple nerd role-playing. There was an entire PC setup for, it was probably a League of Legends tournament. I don't care. I mean, if it's not PCs that are free to play, I don't give a shit. Sorry. I just don't. But again, it was so empty in that area, since not, like, everyone was, in the convention at that time. But, there's a reason why I'm bringing up the whole tabletop area. It actually ties in with the dealer room. You'll see why, and believe me, I was bewildered, to say the goddamn least. Okay, so the dealer's room opens up. Just like last year, the entire dealer's room is, like, spread out. And I'm not, like, saying, like, sectioned off. Like, there's part of the dealer's room in the corner and there, and then there's just random shit mixed in. And I mean, like, I just mean in the sense that it's wide enough that it doesn't get crowded, which is actually a good thing. Like, having crowded dealer's rooms sucks. Like, you don't want to be bumping into people and shit. It's always kind of claustrophobic. But instead of checking out what the vendors had, I went straight to the guests of honor, which was actually like rowed out. They had the dealer's room, then they had a row for like guests of honor, and then they had Artist Alley and all that stuff, and online media down further. This is like a bad map, so don't, whatever. First guest of honor that I was interested in meeting was Jennifer Hale. Shoutouts to Jennifer Hale. She's incredibly nice, like great person to talk to. I talked about just a little bit of Eternal Darkness with her because that was the game I brought for her to sign. Speaking of signing, this may be the first year where ConnectiCon says, you know what? You know how people keep bringing in their own shit for free autographs? Nah, you gotta pay for it. I don't care if you buy a print or bring in your own goddamn thing. You gotta pay money for it, which, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I guess for one, it supports the guests that are coming, of course. But I'm guessing that's making me wonder why the all-weekend pass, if you didn't pre-reg, was $75. Like, pre-reg, even early pre-reg, has been the most expensive this year, which is pretty much reason why I'm not doing all-weekend, because $75 plus gas refills? Yeah, fuck that. No way, son. But, I debated on having her sign Eternal Darkness because I had to pay for it. So after talking about her about the game, which was like she brought up some interesting things about it, but just a lot of things we already know. Again, it was a fun chat. Shoutouts to Jennifer Hale for being great. I actually decided to go and check out the actual dealer's room since the other two guests I was looking for weren't in their booths yet. Again, it was still early. And, okay, pulling out the stops. This dealer room fucking sucked. It was fucking terrible. Like, I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in a goddamn dealer's room. Like, ever. Like, in terms of the same convention, previous years were so much better. Last year's kind of sucked. But this felt just as bad. I mean, it's cool that you, like, have more space so people don't get crowded. But I'm guessing the reason that's because is because less fucking vendors are actually showing up. Because I'll just straight up say there were no fucking video games. No video games, just nothing. Absolutely fucking no games. Ugh. I was just, like, I can't say no games, but it was so goddamn lackluster that I basically came home with nothing. No games, which I guess is great for saving money, but I spent money on other things, and I spent more than I thought on those other things. But in terms of video games, I was just really pissed. Like, even on Twitter, I'm just like, where are the fucking video games? But it doesn't end there. This one vendor that had like a bunch of tabletop stuff, you know, board games and stuff, had like this section for video games. The selection was so small and everything was just so, you know, common, like with sports games, just crappy, like licensed games. One guy actually thought that the Lemony Snicket Series of Unfortunate Events game on the GameCube was a good one. And I'm just like, the fuck, are you kidding me? Like what? I mean, maybe it is. I haven't played it, but you know, licensed games, they got problems, you know. Ugh, Jesus Christ. I did spot, like, very, very, very few games at other vendors. Like, that's what I mean. It was, like, dispersed out. The tabletop vendor, I did come back later. He had, like, another, like, box thingy out. And this was, like, later a day. I'm skipping ahead because I don't want to go back to, like, this thing. And the thing is, I was this close to buying Brink on the Xbox 360. It was $4. But I checked the disc, and of course, the inner plastic was cracked, and I didn't like the condition of the disc. Considering what's happened previous Anime North years, I didn't want to do it. So I seriously bought like zero games at this like dealer's room. I was so disappointed. I don't understand why there's like no video game vendors anymore. Previous years, cat's rubbing the box over there. Previous years we've had like game vendors. Like what's going on? Are like the vendor slots being too expensive and the game guys were like, fuck that, that's awful. No. Like I can't explain it. I was just so disappointed. It didn't ruin the con for me because that's kind of stupid, but you can't just help but feel a little disappointed that you want to find some things that you don't really come across that often, and you get nothing. It's heartbreaking. Like, I feel so bad for Zero Master coming here to the cons and experiencing these dealers' rooms. Because compared to Anime North, this is full-on shit now. Like, I mean, yeah, it used to be crowded, but at least there was stuff to, like, you know, buy in terms of dealer's room stuff. But I will note a couple things I did find that weren't gaming related. I did find a tokusatsu booth. Obviously Zero Master and Nightmare would be the ones really interested in this. They actually had some cool looking like Sentai Kamen Rider stuff. I didn't buy anything because, you know, those usually like to go for very expensive prices, you know. And like a whole tub of Ranger keys also. But that was like the only notable thing. There was this one section where it was literally like you just walk in and you're surrounded by a bunch of like toys, including Legos. I thought that was cool. But again, that stuff is pricey. Like, have you seen prices on Lego sets? They're expensive if you get like the fucking big ones. But overall, I just from the video gaming side of things, this dealer's room sucked. I mean, you got the right idea with the space. Like, you want it to be more open, but the vendors are just lame. In fact, the one vendor I kind of miss is that one beanbag one from a couple of years ago, where, like, anyone could just, like, sit in these, like, special goddamn foam things. And they were all around, like, the console gaming area, too. But of course, their things were expensive, but at least that was a cool vendor, because I guess they were sponsoring or something, I don't know. But anyways, enough about the dealer's room, because just thinking about it kind of depresses me. So since I found, like, no games, I just said fuck it, came back to Jennifer Hale and paid the $20 to, sign my copy of Eternal Darkness. Right here. There it is. And even said Alexandra Roivas. Yes, that's what she is. Right there, folks. That's Jennifer Hale, obviously. But it was cool, like, briefly talking about this game with her, because a lot of people obviously would bring her up as like, oh, female Commander Shepard. She's in a shit ton of games. I could have like brought in Metroid Prime if I wanted to, but I felt this was better. There is a couple of downsides with the Jennifer Hale stuff. The reason she's not in any of my recordings or photos is because if I did any of that, I'd have to, like, you know, pay for it. So I just said, but whatever. It's not really that big of a loss. It's not the only time I pretty much had to do that. The second time is actually in the same con, but we'll get to that. Then I just waited around a bit. I can't remember exactly if I went to this next signing. No, I didn't go to the next signing. Around the same time, when I was checking the dealer's room and finding out where the hell's the video games, something clicked to me. I didn't find the console games anywhere. Just like regular old console gaming. I was confused. I really was. Like it used to be in like the big rooms and stuff. But but instead, like I mentioned earlier, all that tabletop RPG stuff, there was just a whole area there. There were no console games, and there was just a section for the fucking PC tournament thingy, and then there's the dealer's room and all that other stuff. Like, and then I asked around, like, where the hell's console gaming? And lo and behold, if you definitely checked my Twitter during this time, they moved console gaming to an entirely different area. Like an entirely different hotel. Now, this isn't new to me. Anime North has done this. But let's compare where Anime North is in comparison to Hartford. Anime North, we have like the convention center, the hotel, which used to be the DoubleTree, they renamed it, and then the Sheraton. Between those two buildings and the Sheraton is this big bridge. Easy to get to. Hartford, you're in a fucking city. There's a bunch of fucking intersections. You're gonna get lost unless you take the goddamn free shuttle, which I had to do. Because I wanted to see console game. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to get my Rock Band fill because I haven't played that in a while, and I still enjoy playing it even though I haven't played it in a while, you know? But, oof. I just find it baffling that they went the Anime North route. I don't understand how they couldn't fit it. I mean, it didn't seem like a lot of people were doing that RPG stuff. I don't understand why we had to completely sanction off console gaming to an entirely separate building. And keep in mind, this hotel is not the one that's right next to the convention center. If it was like right next door, I'd be like, alright, that'd be fine. No! It's further in the goddamn city, and you have to take the shuttle there. It's just bewildering. I mean, I only ended up stopping in twice. First to check it out, and second time to just kill time until way later. I will remark, though, there were 2 floors for that whole thing in the console gaming area. Well, the 3rd floor wasn't console gaming at all. It was separate type of gaming. 2nd floor of this place had console gaming. It had a complete retro thing, kind of like Anime North, and then there's all the modern stuff in another room with tournaments and stuff. Kind of like Anime North, but it was cool seeing the retro stuff. They had House of the Dead 2 on Dreamcast, complete with light guns. And I actually got the light gun and House of the Dead 2 for Dreamcast not too long ago. So I was actually able to test their gun. Calibration seemed like a little off. It seemed alright. House of the Dead 2 is still bullshit though, because, you know, arcade shooters, you gotta just put those quarters in, cheap shots and everything. Whatever. But it was still pretty cool. That's just like regular old retro stuff. Spent a little more time in the modern room, obviously, where they had Rock Band, where like Rock Band had like typical setup. It was just like drum kit with cymbals. It had the keyboards. It had like the guitar, bass, and vocals and stuff. Still weirded out that they used the PlayStation 3 version, but then again, no, I think Anime North stopped using the PS3 versions, but that's beyond the point. There were 2 projectors, like there was just like double screening, so I guess it's for people to like see shit better. So like some people could focus on one screen, some people could focus on the other one. Calibration wise, I was surprised. It was pretty good. I mainly played drums and just a little bit of bass. It was a fun setup. I wasn't disappointed with the time I was playing. I had fun playing Rock Band. They had Mario Kart 8 there. I already have that at home. I played so much of it. I didn't get to play it there. And for some reason, I kind of played a little bit of Halo Reach, just randomly, because they were doing multiplayer stuff. Because really, I had nothing else to do. Yeah, funny. Halo Reach, but not Halo 4. I don't know. I'm starting to get confused which fucking Halo game people hate more, whether it be Reach or 4. I really don't know. They had Killer Instinct on the Xbox One there, but I didn't play it. I just didn't care after Enemy North, whatever. But that's really all to say about, like, the gaming room stuff. They moved it to a different building, which I'm not fond of. I was okay with it at Anime North because really it's just a straight shot. And I guess technically it could be faster to get to, like, the second hotel using the shuttle. But if you're going by walking, it's not straight shot. You gotta know where to turn and where it is on the map, because this is a city, remind you. But anyways, I think after that I went back, checked I was keeping track of time because there were things I wanted to catch. I missed both Jennifer Hale panels, so that's why there's, like, no footage, which is a shame. Like, it seemed like every time I went to the goddamn panel room, plaster on door, sorry, room full. And I'll get back to that whole room full thing in a second. It's, like, related to the last panel I went to, but I just, because of that, I ended up missing both panels, which kind of bummed me out, so I had, like, less things to do. But I did eventually go back to the dealer's room. I wanted to go back to the guests of honor. The voice of GLaDOS, Alec McLean, and oh crap, what was his name? Ellen McLean's wife. No, not wife, husband. But you know what I mean. I'm so goddamn tired. Her husband, who voices the sniper in Cave Johnson, in terms of Valve-related stuff. They were signing stuff. Unlike Jennifer Hale and Walter Jones, which I'll get to, they signed it for free. I actually got Sniper and Ellen on film. yeah, Sniper and Ellen, that's his name. But, I do want to give shout-outs to both of them. They're both incredibly nice. They're funny. They're just generally nice people. And they like signed my Orange Box copy for free, which is great. And I did get that on film, so you probably already know that. The sniper. I really want to look up his name because I don't want to call him, the sniper. And I have one thing I do want to bring up, which surprised me. And it has nothing to do with any guess or anything. Where is he? God damn it. Oh, John Patrick Lowry. That's Ellen McLean's husband, and Sniper Cave Johnson stuff, all that from that stuff. Funny guy. They're both great. Shouts to both of them again. Thing I wanted to bring up, look at this program book. This is probably the most detailed goddamn program book ever. It has a spine. It has a goddamn spine like Nintendo Power. Which, it's like, I'm just wondering, did most of the budget go to the fucking book? Because this is probably the best program book, design-wise, I've seen at a con. Previous convention, like ConnectiCon used the program books were alright. But this one feels like, it feels special. It feels like a goddamn magazine, because that's technically what it is. That doesn't mean it's full of, it's not perfect. Yeah, that's definitely not how those pictures are supposed to be printed on there. I thought that was intentional at first, and I thought about it, I'm like, no, there's no way. That must have been a fuck up. I'm actually wondering if all copies had the fuck up in there. But whatever, that's the book. It's I'll give ConnectiCon this year this is a nice program book. Whatever. Anyways, I want to get to Walter Jones. This Walter Jones was again, shout outs to him especially. Like he's great. He wanted autographs for $30, and again, since the dealer's room pissed me off so much, I just said, you know what? How about you just sign Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? And he did. $30 for this. whatever. Like, I may regret it later, but may as well give him the money. I mean, unlike this, I can't, easily delete this, like I would with, like, a photo on my camera, where I just, like, oh shit, I fucking deleted the photo by accident, it's not on my computer. Whoop, there goes $20 down the goddamn drain. I mean, if I wanted to delete this game, it would have to be, like, thrown in the garbage or the fire, and I'm not gonna do that. I take care of my games. God damn it. Walter was, fun. I actually got to morphin pose with him. I brought my morpher and stuff. I didn't get a photo because, same thing with video. Walter is the other guy that, if I did video, I'd probably have to, like, pay for it, so no videos. But I can assure you, he's great, and he's actually roughly my height, which is weird. I thought I'd be, like, way shorter than him, but we're roughly the same height. But, again, great guy to talk to. I went back a second time later in the day. I may as well get this out of the way right now. Zero Master informed me that Walter Jones was, like, missing a finger, and I never knew this, because he's like, dude, you better give him a high 4. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he just tells me, dude, he's missing a finger. And I'm like, fucking what? And I did not know that. I honestly wanted to ask Walter, like, himself about what happened. He went into a couple of stories as a joke, but the real story is just a shame. Just mishandling a gun as a kid. Blew the finger right off. Yeah, it could have been way worse. Way, way worse. But it's such a shame, but kudos to him for just not having that accident mess up his life, or just, like, with whatever he's, like, doing and stuff, which is great. And yes, Zero, you probably already know this, I did give him a high 4. Now Walter Jones wants me dead on the side of the street. Are you happy now? Are you happy we're gonna have the biggest brawl of our goddamn life? I'm a fake ranger and he's a real one. I wonder who's gonna win. Wow. I just... better pay those goddamn medical bills. It's gonna be on your goddamn head. In terms of just regular old guests, that was it. But I did actually run into the Nostalgia Chick and Todd in the Shadows. I got their, like, signing stuff on film. They were cool with it. Like, I actually try to ask now, in case it's like, oh, I don't want them to feel awkward and stuff. Didn't really have anything from them signed, so they signed the book, because I'm not gonna, like, toss this book away. It is a fucking nice program book. I'll just say that. Enough about the program book. They were great to talk to. I wish I got to talk to Todd again, but after he left, they kind of vanished. I think they went to crash the Doug Walker Q&A, which I pretty much encouraged them to. It wasn't just Todd and Lindsay. It was also Nella and Elisa. They were both there. Again, they're really nice, and I'm glad I got to meet more of the Channel Awesome people, or the Ches Apocalypse, as they're called. Shoutouts to Ches Apocalypse. There you go. But that was pretty much it for guests. There is one panel I did go to involving Ellen and John. It was a panel related to, like, storytelling and, like, characters. And I find it funny that both of them were there, because the whole time, John Patrick Lowry was pretty much talking through the whole thing. And I just see, like, Ellen there just like this. Because I'm pretty sure John is a writer also. I believe he mentioned that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I could be wrong. And it was an interesting panel to sit through. Like, just hearing him talk about this, it actually gave me a little more insight about, like, how characters and, like, stories stuff. They just brought up random scenarios and, like, how would it work? Then there was the Portal sing-along, like, right after that, which we sang along. I got a little bit of that on film, plus with the panel itself. I can guarantee that whole sing-along is going to be on YouTube at some point. It's not for me, but it'll be there. But whatever. That was a pretty good panel. I do want to bring up the Artist Alley, actually. Like, for the past few years, I've been more and more getting interested in the Artist Alley. Like years before, I was just like, Artist Alley, where's the video games? But because there were no goddamn fucking video games, I said, you know, let's check out the Artist Alley. And I was generally impressed with some stuff. I'll just call him vendor. One vendor in the Artist Alley had a goddamn 3D printer. I had not seen one of these in person, and I'm just like, it's cool. Like, it takes a goddamn while, but just seeing one in action is, it's something else. It's actually kind of incredible. I didn't get footage of it, though, but actually, wait, I think I did get footage of it. I can't remember. I probably did. If it's in the clip, then fuck this. Fuck everything I said. But regardless, it was cool. According to the panel book, Awkward Zombie was supposed to be there. Didn't find her anywhere. Shame, because if she had like one of those books, I would have gotten one. Maybe it was just like a last minute change, or she just wasn't doing the shit on Saturday. I don't know. Because even on the map, I looked it up, just wasn't in the booth. It was supposed to be right next to Ches Apocalypse. Didn't happen. There is two vendors I went to, and I ended up getting commissions. One was a sketch. It's like the second one I went to. It was a $5 sketch. I just told the guy, hey, draw up Mordecai and Rigby from Regular Show, and came with that. I like the sketch. It's small, but I definitely like it. It's good. I cannot read this goddamn signature. I wish I could remember what booth this was, but shoutouts to the booth that drew this. Thank God for me not remembering. God damn it, I'm so bad at this. This other one, and I actually got a card for this because I asked for a colored commission. Big thing with this one is the commission itself was $35. If you bought like prints there, they were obviously cheaper, but if you wanted to request your own thing and such, it was obviously more expensive, and of course had to be pretty much made. So I made a deal with the guy, Princess Crimson, if I'm saying that right. It's definitely on the card. Shoutouts to you for actually taking my commission. And the reason it was $35, if you're wondering, is I think it was depending on the size or where the character is going to be, it's different prices. Same with color. And I have 2 characters in mind, so I got an extra fee. But it would have been $40, but I got a little deal because I thought about it and I just went for it. So yeah, I ended up buying more art and paying for autographs than actually buying new stuff. I was actually close to buying, again, in the Artist Alley, there was this, plushie area, and I do want to note this. There was, this, I don't know the character's name in Okami, but that wolf, it seemed like a hat. I would assume that would have been, $30, but I just saw it up there, and, Danny or Blondie would like that, but I couldn't buy it. The thing that stuck out to me, though, were, the freaking baby Metroid plushies. They were pretty big, and they were $30. I would have gotten it, but again, I was running tight on money, and now that I think about it, I have no idea where I'd put that Metroid due to the size. Because I'm running out of room again in my room. You know, really don't have a good shelf or anything for it. Oh well, but that was pretty much it there. So I guess for the rest of the day, aside from just walking around and ordering ice cream and just realizing that, wow, there really are no video games to buy. Depressing. God, going to this con alone was just lame. But before I left, I decided to check one last panel out by... Oh, crap, I already forget their names. But they're the guys in the footage I recorded. It was basically cartoon nostalgia stuff. That cheered me up because it was an entertaining panel. Shoutouts to those guys. I can't friggin' remember the name even though you're the most goddamn recent thing I went to. But you're on video. Shoutouts to you guys for making a fun panel. And it's too bad there wasn't a NerdFit one on Saturday. I actually ran into the internet and went like, no panels on Saturday? But, you know, schedules and stuff, blah, 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 blah. I think that was everything. That was literally it. After that panel, I just drove home, got food, and sat down and did this, and wasted your time. This is actually much longer than the goddamn con footage. Jesus Christ. I know I'm probably forgetting something, but at the same time, that's it. That's gotta be it. I mean, the only thing I have to wait on in terms of what I bought is the commission from Princess Crimson. Which, by the way, I don't know why I didn't say this a few minutes ago, but I really do like the art style that Princess Crimson does. That's why I kind of want to do a commission, because I liked how it looked. I gotta give props to the Artist Alley. Like, I honestly recommend if you go to cons, check out the Artist Alley more. You'd be surprised with what you find. Like, even if it's in a franchise that you probably don't like, the actual art style, depending on what you like and stuff, it's just cool to look at. I've just been appreciating it more ever since, like, checking out a little more Anime North in previous years. Definitely recommend that stuff. I mean, who knows? You can even get people to, like, ask people to draw you shit. You know, of course, for a fee. But if I just want to say overall thoughts, I mean, I guess I had fun. I didn't have as much fun as I wanted to, though. I mean, going alone is kind of a low blow compared to previous years, because I haven't gone alone to ConnectiCon in general since, like, 2008. And just ever since I've had people coming with me, and that's just made it a little more fun for me. I've gone to other cons alone, but usually those are one-offs or just, like, why the hell not? But after going to, like, a con for quite a few years with your friends, and then it's just, like, no friends at all, it's a little disappointing. I mean, I probably could have not gone, but I just needed something to do. I mean, I just hope ConnectiCon improves, because the dealer's room still pissed me off. That's the legitimate thing that pissed me off, and I'm just wondering what they're doing with everything. I'm not a fan of having the gaming move to a separate building. I don't know. I hate to be the hipster, but previous years were better. But it's hard for me to say if I like this better than last year. There's things I hate more than last year's one, but there's things I like more than last year's one. It's conflicting. I mean, like, with all the guests I met, they were great. That was great fun, even if I had to, like, pay for autographs, which is lame, but I may as well support those guys that, you know, you really do like, whatever. Considering the past few years I never really did that, I just had free autographs, but it's fine. It doesn't really bother me too much. All I just know is, after I'm done with this, I'm just going to check the flea market and see if they actually have games at the flea market right near me to make up for this, because I'm really tired. It's really late. I've freaking dragged this on for so long. This may be my longest vlog probably ever, and it pretty much took up the whole con video. That pretty much sums up the whole thing right there. If my recap stuff pretty much overlaps the con footage, you done fucked up. Now let's just see how long this will take to actually upload. Oh. And the big question, obviously, is will I go next year? Maybe. I really don't know. If I don't have anyone going with me, I'm just going to flat out refuse it. I mean, I would have refused it this year, but I'll admit, Walter Jones was the one that kind of pushed me over the edge to go. Still cool meeting him, though. But aside from that, if I don't get anything like that anymore, then whatever. But if I do have people coming with me just to, you know, go to the con with, it'd definitely be more enjoyable, and I'd definitely reconsider it. So, yeah, sorry ConnectiCon, Anime North beat you. Suck it down. And that's it. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I wrapped up as much as I did. If I forget anything, fuck it, I don't care. I'm done. I'm tired. And even though it's past 1 o'clock now, I'm just gonna go ahead and probably not go to bed. So, see you next con, maybe next video, maybe I'll actually do something. Whatever. See you later. Bye.